Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Truth News. I'm Walter Bass. It's still Saturday, January 3rd, 2026. We have some interesting developments today. We invaded Venezuela. We kidnapped their president. We're bringing him to New York. Why did we go to Venezuela and kidnap the president and his wife, I believe, and bring them back to the States? Well, everyone says oil. We want the oil. It's not just the oil. We need kids. Why do we need kids? Because they've sold all the kids they can sell in the United States. They sold all the poor kids, all the unfortunate kids. They've sold out of kids. That's why we had 300,000 children from the border brought into the country. And where are they? Gone. Sold. Already sold out of the 300,000. Because in the United States, our number one export is children. That's the truth. Japan sells cars, China sells computers, Russia sells oil, the Middle East sells oil, America, we sell children. So, if you don't believe me, let's take a head count of all the children in Venezuela today, right now. Let's get a census going. Let's get some people in there. Let's get all the kid numbers. Let's find out how many children there are and watch 6 months from now, a year from now, watch them disappear. Gone. Because that's what America sells. We don't sell cars. We don't manufacture anything. We have no factories. All of our factories have been sent to Mexico or China or some other foreign country. So we sell children, and we're running out of children to sell. That's why Donald Trump is offering to pay people $5,000 to have kids. Everyone have kids. Come on, we need kids. Everyone have kids. The government will pay you money to have kids because the government needs kids to sell. That's the truth of the situation. So, let me get my phone. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. I had to get my phone. We're going to go over a clinical definition, psychopathy. And we're going to see what the clinical definition is, and you tell me who this fits. You tell me, who does this sound like? Psychopathy is a condition that manifests as a set of personality traits and behaviors that can be difficult to detect. Psychopathy is a set of personality traits and behaviors that can be difficult to detect. I think we the people are pretty smart. I think we can detect this set of behaviors. I think if I go through the outline here, let's see. Number 1, emotional detachment, lack of empathy, remorse, or guilt. Any human being that can sell children, rape children, murder children, I believe shows this personality trait, lack of empathy, remorse, or guilt. So let's check that off the list. Number 1, that would definitely fit our president. That would fit our Congress. That would fit our intelligence agencies. So number 1, check. Number 2, lying, manipulating, and deceiving others for personal gain. Would you like me to repeat that? Lying, manipulating, or deceiving others for personal gain. You ever heard of the little Operation Mockingbird where everyone just says the same thing? You know how many times? In these 1,577 days since my son was kidnapped, violently sexually assaulted, do you know how many times I've heard law enforcement, intelligence agencies, politicians all say the same thing? Nobody's doing that, Mr. Bass. Nobody's molesting children. Nobody's selling children. The Epstein files are a hoax. They're just Democrats. They're just Democrats. It's political. It's all political. Yeah. Number 2, we'll check that off the list. Number 3, impulsivity, difficulty controlling impulses, acting recklessly, and getting bored easily. Would you say the president calling reporters piggy and stupid is impulsivity? I would think so. Let's check that off the list. We're 3 for 3 on psychopathy in the United States government, from the president to the intelligence agencies to everyone on Pedophile Hill. Number 4, antisocial behavior, violating laws and regulations, disregarding others' rights, and engaging in aggressive or violent behavior. Would you say murdering people on boats, fishing boats, for no good reason would be considered violent behavior? Would you say engaging in aggressive and violent behavior, that fits? How about violating laws and regulations and disregarding others' rights? How about ICE kidnapping people off the street, separating families? Would you say that is violating laws and regulations, disregarding others' rights? How about stealing children from parents? 1,577 days since my son was kidnapped. So number 4, we're going to check that. We are 4 for 4 on psychopathy by the United States government, from the president down. Irresponsibility, avoiding work and financial commitments, quitting jobs impulsively, and not paying debts. How many people does the President of the United States of America owe? How many contractors, construction workers, how many people has he screwed out of money? Yeah, I think we can fit that one off. There's number 5. So we're 5 for 5 on psychopathy, behavioral traits, and personality traits by the President and the United States government as a collective whole. Congress. How about Dan Crenshaw getting drunk, making an ass of himself in Mexico? Insider trading for millions of dollars. How about Tony Gonzalez lighting his mistress on fire and letting her burn alive? How about that one? Would you say that fits psychopathy? I would say so. Self-centeredness, grandiosity, and a callous disregard for the safety of others. I don't think we even need to discuss that one. We all know that fits everyone in Congress when they get in front of those cameras. Mike Johnson, James Comer, look at all of them just high and mighty. Let's see, what's next? Dishonesty, making excuses for their actions and rarely learning from their mistakes. How many times have we heard it's political? It's the Democrats' fault. It's the Republicans' fault. It's Fox News. It's ABC. It's Rupert Murdoch. It's Barry Weiss. It's CBS. It's Truth Social. It's Facebook. It's X. How many times have we heard this same old song? It's always somebody else's fault. They rape, murder, sell our kids. They steal our money. They lie to our faces. And it's always somebody else's fault. So there's number 7. 7 for 7 so far. This is the last one. Interpersonal issues. Having casual and callous relationships. Well, I would say raping 13 and 14-year-old girls as the President of the United States of America, I would consider that casual and callous, wouldn't you? How about all the flings and affairs going on in Congress? How about gay sex being filmed in the halls of Senate? Do we remember that one? I believe that was 2023, maybe 2022. So those are the 7 personality and behavior traits of a psychopath. This is the United States government, ladies and gentlemen. We are paying psychopaths to run our country. These people are out of their minds. That being said, we've covered the Venezuela kids and oil, which, by the way, you'll be seeing Venezuelan children soon. They'll be going for sale. Let's do an in-depth on Kelly L. Hansen. Kelly L. Hansen, the state judge from Marietta, California, who kidnapped my 7-year-old son and stuck his dick in my 7-year-old son, causing physical injuries, and then punished me for telling on him for stealing and sticking his dick in my 7-year-old son. And I've yet to see or hear from my son in over 4 years, which is presumed dead, according to the United States Capitol Hill Police Intelligence, who called me more than a year ago to say your son's dead, stop calling. Let's do a background on Kelly L. Hansen. Well, he was appointed by Arnold Schwarzenegger in 2009, that's right. The kindergarten cop himself, Arnold Schwarzenegger, who made governor of California, Mr. Hollywood. That tells you all you need to know about our political system. We got the Apprentice as president, and we got the Terminator as the former governor for California. I would say it's safe to say that our government are a bunch of actors. Kelly L. Hansen was born in Utah. Anyone know anything about Utah? Sound familiar? You know, assassinations, pedophiles, Mormons, polygamy, sexual cults. Anyone know anything about Utah? do a little deep dive on Utah and you'll find out it's a sex cult of Mormons that are basically out of their minds with sex, molestation of kids, polygamy, which is multiple partners simultaneously. I believe there's a TV show, my 7 Mormon Wives or something. I don't know. I don't watch crap like that. Kelly L. Hansen went to BYU University, Brigham Young University. While he was there, he took an 18-month sabbatical. Do you know what a sabbatical is? It's a departure for a religious commitment. 18-month sabbatical as a devout Mormon. So obviously he has a problem with sex, being raised as a Mormon in Utah. I wouldn't say they are into monogamy. So let's get that off the list. He was a clerk for the Utah Department of Justice of the Attorney General. How's the Department of Justice in Utah doing right now with the Charlie Kirk assassination? I would say not very good. We all know how that's going. The biggest flim-flam cover-up ever attempted. Then from Utah, in 1992, he went to the San Diego County District Attorney's Office. 1992, San Diego County, just north of the Mexican border, where basically I call Southern California Northern Mexico, because Cartelifornia is the Sinaloa state of America. And when you get to LA, everything LA and south of LA, you might as well call it Northern Mexico, because it operates under cartel control thanks to pay-to-play politics, which we covered earlier in our expose about Chad Bianco, the Sinaloa sheriff. From the DA's office in San Diego County, he went to the Riverside County District Attorney's Office. Why would he go to Riverside County? Probably because it's a little more corrupt. It's a little easier to get away with crimes against humanity without anyone telling on you, because Riverside County is one of the most corrupt counties in California, with only a 9.2 cleared records rate. When a crime is committed in Riverside County, that's right, you have a 90.8% chance of getting away with a crime in Riverside County, California. 90.8. That's pretty good odds. Any criminals out there, if you want to start a criminal career, I would say Riverside County is probably a good place to go start. 90% chance you're going to get away with it, according to statistics. Let's see. 7 years, Kelly L. Hansen as a district attorney in Riverside County. Guess what kind of cases he worked on? That's right, ladies and gentlemen, child abuse cases. He loves the children. Kelly L. Hansen, not only as a state judge, but as a district attorney, he loved the kids. He's had a thing for kids. For 7 years, he worked on child abuse cases as a district attorney in Riverside County. Why? Gave him access to abused children, so he could abuse them even more, and nobody would suspect him. They've already been abused. They're already damaged. Who's going to know? Who's going to know? And who would expect a district attorney to be molesting children? Who would expect that? That's like expecting your Catholic priest to be molesting children. Oh, wait. Yeah, we know how that's going right now. Let's see. And Kelly L. Hansen, I went on Avo. I tried to do a deep dive in his background on Avo, and I couldn't get in the app. It said it would not open the app. But I did notice what made me click on the app on Avo. There was a little preview of a lady who asked. She went in front of Kelly Hansen. He took her kids as well. And she said, why is a criminal judge handling family law? That's a very good question. Kelly L. Hansen is supposedly a criminal judge, but yet he's handling family law, taking kids. Why does he take kids? Because he likes to play with them and sell them to the Sinaloa cartel. Because a state judge, the tax dollars aren't as good as that cartel blood money. That cartel blood money comes in mighty big chunks. And this is the last fact about Kelly L. Hansen, the serial child sexual predator with more victims than people died in 9/11 and the Oklahoma City bombing combined. That's right. 2,976 people died in the 9/11 attacks on the World Trade Centers, and 168 people died in the Oklahoma City bombing. And Kelly L. Hansen has kidnapped, molested, and sold way more children than that. But our fine intelligence agencies, the FBI, the CIA, Homeland Security, that's why they don't want to prosecute this judge. Because nobody wants to spend hundreds of millions of dollars. And the children that Kelly Hansen has kidnapped, molested, and sold, well, those kids are either dead or in a foreign country. They're gone. That's right. Those kids are never coming back. Thousands of children. Kelly Hansen ran uncontested as a state judge. That's right. Didn't even have to put his name on the ballot. Just slid right into the position. Not once, but twice. In 2016 and 2021, both elections, no one ran against him. Now, why would nobody run against a state judge? Could it be because he has cartel ties and connections and everybody knows? Stay away from the cartel? Is that why? Could it be? I would say so. That's the truth. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a short video tonight. We're at the 16-minute mark now. I usually try to do around 20 or 30. I usually gather more information, but Kelly L. Hansen, being a state judge, they've scrubbed a lot of his information off the internet. It's hard to find. I do know he is divorced. I do know he did have children. I couldn't get into those records to find out who his ex-wife was, ages of his kids, or anything like that. A lot of that information is sealed or scrubbed off the internet. We all know what these demons are doing, like Erica Kirk trying to scrub her past off the internet. How many men she's been with, how much she drinks. Well, she don't drink or date. Isn't that funny? These people lying. So we've covered the definition of psychopathy, and 7 out of 7, the United States government scored on the psychopathy scale. 7 out of 7. That is perfect. Maybe those are the tests Trump's taking at the Walter Reed Medical Center. Maybe they're giving him psychopathy tests that he's acing. I don't think they're cognitive tests. I don't think so. So, ladies and gentlemen, the United States government has found new ways to make money. They invade foreign countries, small, countries that can't fight back. They don't do that to Russia. They don't do that to China. They don't do that to North Korea. But they'll do it to Venezuela. Because they're going to take the oil, they're going to take their kids, because they need to make money, because the American taxpayers don't give them enough money for $400 million ballrooms. There's not enough money in the world for these people. So, ladies and gentlemen, again, this is a reminder, these videos will keep coming out. I will keep making these videos. I will keep telling the truth about our domestic terrorist regime known as the United States government. Thank you for tuning in. Please like, share, and subscribe to this channel. We are brand new, very primitive, just starting. As time goes on, I will get a microphone. I will get a laptop to share some things on the screen so we can interact together a little better. I appreciate your time. You guys have a lovely weekend. We'll see you soon.